Wow, this is a perfect group for starters this morning, my dears. Like like a kickstart for the heart, a kickstart for the heart, a soul embrace that is never going to be the same for you and me after this embrace that we're going to receive this morning. And even Brookie got on, Lisa and Jim got on. Lisa and Jim, like myself, are in a snow. We're snowed in in Ashland. Yeah, we're snowed in, Ryan, in Ashland. Can you believe that? And we have a driveway that's like so steep, so it doesn't look like we're driving anywhere today. It'll be lucky to walk down to the street. Anyway, um, happy Gita morning, my dears. Mary, Alex, I can't tell you what a wonderful Tuesday we have. We get to join together our hearts. We get to join together our highest intentions, motives, and we get to enjoy together, the blessings that come from even attempting what we're attempting, and that is to go through this God Talks to Arjuna, Volume 2. We're still on Chapter 17. There's 18 chapters. So, anyway, let's just be here now and celebrate this amazing conjunction of souls who are ready to. I mean, this is a solar eclipse day. And if you are able to come to my next not even a meditation, but a daily download of divinity at 8 o'clock Pacific time, that you're going to hear something about this this eclipse, this solar eclipse today. That's insane. It's insane. I never heard a write up as the one I'll share with you at the next thing we do. Anyway, thank you, my dears. God bless us. Let's just say our inward prayers for the blessings to come to us, because we are studying this ancient scripture. We are imbibing Yogananda's vibrations and so on and so forth. And we get each other's company for the next 40 minutes or so. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You can see outside my slider here, you can see the trees are all white. Yeah, that's our backyard. I don't know if there's a dog. Is there a dog? Yeah, I think there's a dog right there. Yep, it's happy. She's not going to go out in the snow. Not right yet. Okay. So we're going to start today on verses 14 to 17. We're still on the three grades of spiritual practices. The three grades of spiritual practices, with the gunas involved here, the three gunas, that those grades can go from this beautiful sattvic, and we'll call this stream this morning the sattvic, what did I call it? The sattvic mental austerity. Think of that for a second. The sattvic, meaning the high consciousness, as high as we can go, consciousness, mentally, the highest consciousness mentally, austerity. Those are the words Yogananda uses. Sattvic mental austerity is going to be part of our morning. I mean, it's like, simply said, simply says what that means is that we are going to be really, like you tell kids, watch your thoughts, watch your words. That what I would say is the first step of this sattvic high, as high as we can go, my dears, mental austerity. So we have a watch now. We have a watchtower right now on our mental gyroscope. I don't know why I use that word. Activities. We have a watchtower where we are totally about one thing, and that's that very first verse here that we're going to look at today, verse 14, page 999, chapter 17. God talks to Arjuna. And it says in verse 14, which I think, who's that? Wait a minute. I got to see if that's hope. Can I just see who's knocking at my door? It's not a raven, it's a golden doodle. Come in when you want. All right, all is good. I got the guard at the front at my door to my room. Opie's on guard outside my room, and Happy's laying on the bed right here. So now we're good to go. This verse 14. Mary. Yeah, I'm just so happy to have a team like this on Tuesday morning for no reason, my dears. We didn't start this because we had a reason. I just knew that I love Yogananda and I love the Bhagavad Gita. That's all I knew. And here we are, 9 years later or whatever, still imbibing, still sitting at the feet of Krishna and Christ. Actually, they're right up. Do something here for you so you can see what's up here. Let me. Can you see that? That's the feet of Christ and Krishna. I have a big painting of them. How can I get you to see their faces? Anyway, I'm messing up here. All right. Anyway, those are their robes. You've seen that picture before. They're going across a blue lake, holding hands, Christ and Krishna. This was painted for the soul of yoga. Yeah, this was painted for the soul of yoga. And they say that original paintings, and especially this one came from India. We had someone in India paint it, that vibration, that initial vibration, that love that was put into the painting stays with it. Yeah. So, my dears, let's get that light a little bit dimmer. You can see the trees, and you know there's a dog here, and you're here. So, here it is, verse 14. And we're on the 3 grades of spiritual practices. So this is a good start. I think we're going to start on the Sattvic. It says veneration of the devas, the devas, the devas, the sprites, all the fairies, all the things in Mother Nature. That there's devas, meaning that there's guardians of everything. There's guardians for the grass that grows. There's guardians of a hill or a large mountain. That devas that kind of hold the space, hold God's infinite love space in all spaces and places on this planet. So this is the veneration of those devas that we don't see, not yet anyway, but maybe some of you have had experiences. Trisha's had experiences in seeing little fairies and things in our home that was in Encinitas, and you put her anywhere in nature, and she's gone. She's talking to these devas. Yeah, no kidding. And she works at the computer most of the time. Got to get her, got to set her free. So this says veneration of the devas, the twice born. This is actual Krishna's words. The twice born, the gurus, and the wise. Then he throws in purity, straightforwardness, continence, nonviolence, good old Gandhi's nonviolence, ahimsa, are considered the penance or austerity of the body. The penance or austerity of the body. Those who venerate the devas, the twice born, these are all good folks, by the way. This is all Pandu stuff, all the good guys. This is the higher self stuff. veneration of the devas, the twice born, the gurus, and the wise, purity, straightforwardness, continence, and nonviolence are considered the penance or austerity of the body. Wow. Have you ever heard such a verse or any words put together like this, right? That we learn about the penance or austerity of the body, the discipline over this physical temple that we all inhabit for a little while, and we know it's temporary. We know this ain't our home inside this body. So we're going to learn today that this sattvic mental austerity is really going to be something that's going to cling to you, or you're going to cling to it, meaning that you're going to, be on the watch now. Seriously, and after you hear the stream about this this eclipse coming up, getting ready for year 2026, you'll want to have complete complete vigilance on the thoughts you think. Yeah, and the words you use. Oh yeah, you'll see. So Yogananda, that's verse 14. But I'm going to start to read his commentary because there's not only verse 14, but there's verse all the way 14 to 17. They're chunked together. But just starting with 14 that I just read you about the penance and austerity of the body, Yogananda comments, my dears, and that discipline is called tapas. Some of you yoginis, know that tapas is the austerity, is the discipline that we have. You know, Yogananda said once in his teachings, his early teachings, they've been rebooted and you know, you know, made better and bigger, and things that we hadn't heard before in the old lessons. But I remember, and he said, humans are meant to control themselves. It was just one line in one of his early teachings. Now that have been upgraded, updated, and I said that line that humans are meant to control themselves. It just really hit me. It still does, and it's called tapas or austerities. Is the conscientious. So tapas, austerity, is the conscientious practice. The conscientious. When was the last time you said that word? Conscientious practice of the disciplines that brings one's whole being. Tell me if you'd be interested in this, if someone just came up to you like this glowing figure that just appeared out of the blue, manifested in front of you. A great being could be Sri Yukteswar, right? Could be Yogananda. We're going to have those commemorations ceremonies coming up in March. So the tapas austerity is the conscientious practice of the disciplines. So they come up to you and they say, do you want to learn about the conscientious practice of the disciplines that bring one's whole being into harmony with the true self or soul nature? No, imagine that now. Who's with you now? Which one are you choosing to see this glowing, beautiful divinity that just takes a form? Could be the form that you know in pictures, or it could be something you're creating in your own consciousness right now. But they come up to you and they ask you, are you interested in the conscientious practice of the disciplines that bring one's whole being, your whole being, my dears? I wonder how much we use of our soul powers, right? How much do we use? Or do many of them just lay there in the chakras, the little petals are down, and they're saying, please, please, lift me up, lift me up. The little soul petals that awaken those chakras, right? Maybe this is the morning where we say, wake, like in his dawn chant, at dawn and the opening. This is his dawn chant. Yogananda. No, his prayer at dawn. At dawn and the opening of lotus buds, my soul flower softly unfolds. My soul flower softly unfolds to receive thy light, to receive thy light. Each petal is bathed in rays of bliss. Each petal is bathed. Call them up, my dears. You're on watch now. The Sattvic, the Sattvic mental austerity of keeping your mind on the divine. That's what that means. The Sattvic, the highest, most beautiful thoughts that, since you're going to have thoughts anyway, that you can bring into the picture, right? And hold steady. A deluge of these you know, heretofore not used very often, beautiful, beautiful Sattvic thoughts for the mind. And that we could say is conscientious practice of disciplines that bring one's whole being into harmony with the true self. So that's in front of you right now with this beautiful, holy, divine image of, well, whoever, one of the masters perhaps, Divine Mother perhaps, right now, asking you if you want to be one of those that practice the disciplines that bring your whole being into harmony with your true self or soul nature. Because such discipline, Yogananda goes on to say, such discipline is the foundation of spiritual unfoldment. Okay, let me finish that second verse of the Dawn chant. Each petal is bathed in rays of bliss. Each petal is bathed in rays of bliss. The early breezes waft the perfume, waft the perfume of thy presence. The early breezes waft the perfume of thy presence. Each petal, each opening of your heart right now, opening of your mind right now, in that high austerity, that highest austerity of sattvic, high, beautiful, divine, divinely given thoughts and awarenesses and consciousness and conscientiousness that we can have coming from this stream this morning is a discipline that is the foundation, my dears, of spiritual unfoldment. We are meant to control ourselves. Yeah, that's a big one. I think we all put that one off because we have our little seek of what I used to call, well, I just haven't thought of it for a while. The DDSs, the deep dark secrets, we still harbor some deep dark secrets and nobody knows, because it's hard to, totally let go of this physical identity, right? It takes a while, right? But all that's needed is that we replace the, like yesterday's Gita, not Gita, but the meditation morning that we had yesterday. We were talking about any down moment. Now we have the practice, talk about the tapas, the discipline to lift up. And we just, another song that I wrote just because I need to write things to remind myself of the highest sattvic, mental austerity practices, and that is, I want uppy, uppy, oh my mother divine. I want uppy, uppy, oh my mother divine. So lift me up into your arms. Hold me tight. Lift me up into your arms. Hold me tight. I want uppy, uppy. Oh, my mother divine. I want uppy. So every down Anytime you go down, anytime your consciousness drops, we need to replace it immediately with upbeat. And so just ask Divine Mother to lift you up and hold you tight. Yeah, lift me up into your arms and hold me tight. Hold me tight. Yeah. So I was practicing that all day yesterday after we had our stream about it. It's similar. That's a tapas. That's a tapas practice. That's a sattvic. That's a sattvic mental austerity practice right there. That's not too difficult, right? Lift me up, Ma. Ma, as soon as I know I'm dropping, as soon as I know that my mind has run away again, right? And things like that, soon as we notice it, now that you have a watchtower and you're watching your every thought and every word and every choice, we need to now consider the possibility of being in a sattvic mental austerity mood. Let's do it. All right. So Yogananda says it's the foundation of spiritual unfoldment, what we're talking about. Tapas may be summarized succinctly in the phrase oft used by my revered Guru Dev, Swami Sri Teshwar. Do you remember it? We used to hear it as monastics all the time. Here it is, another way to say that the discipline that is the foundation of spiritual unfoldment, those tapas, those mental austerities, right? Where we're holding the highest vibration we can regarding our thoughts, choices, and everything else. It can be summed up in Swami Sri Yukteswar's 3 words: learn to behave. Yeah, we heard that so often in the ashram of Paramahansa Yogananda. Learn to behave. And then Yogananda wants us to remember that, in the old days, in different denominations, bodily mortification and excessive penances are extreme measures. We're not in the dark ages now completely. It may seem like it, but we're not in the dark ages. We're coming out, and not only that, we're coming out into the Aquarian age, my dear. So it's a whole nother ball game. That's been right. We're playing. That's why we are here. This is why we are here, taking in this scripture of India. Bodily mortification and excessive penances are extreme measures contrived to bring body and mind into submission. You know that don't work. You know that don't work. But the yogi and yogini who not only guides aright her external actions, but she or he who also through meditation works from within. So we have an outer and an innie, right? We have an outer life and we have an inward life. Now, our life may have been for many years an outer one, and there was just a little down. There's not downtime, but uppy ma time where we kind of went within. Now the tide has turned, especially with the solar eclipse coming. Yeah, it says it. You'll see that we guide aright our external actions, but now also let's let's make sure that we at least spend half of that time of those external things, at least half with the meditation working from within. I would say even go a little bit further and do 51% of the inner life, all right? And see if you can build on. Let's see if we can build on that, Narayan and Mary, Alex, Lisa and Jim and Denny, Brookie. But the yogi, Narayanji, but the yogi who not only guides aright her external actions, but also through meditation works from within at the source of behavior. It's like the thoughts come in about your choices, right? And then the action, right? So we want to be guided to right. That's a good way to guide the external choices that we make and the actions that we do, right? That we work from within at the source of behavior. So you start with that beautiful sattvic mental austerity practice, the tapas, right? Or if you get the right thoughts, dears, you're home free. If you get the right, keep your mind on the divine, align with the divine, keep your mind on the divine. That's simple terms, simple advice, but maybe not that easy to put into constant, consistent, regular practice, which you will be doing because the age of Aquarius is upon us. And if you have even just a little inclination for spiritual things, that is going to grow and grow in leaps and bounds coming up, right? Yeah. And that's the train that we're on. That's the soul express to the infinite bliss on manifest. The soul express to the infinite bliss on manifest. We've all jumped on board, all aboard. So, but the bodily mortification stuff and excessive penances are extreme measures contrived to bring body and mind into submission. Can't force it. But the yogini, who not only guides her right her external actions, but also through meditation works from within at the source of behavior. That's interesting, isn't it? You go within. So you're at the source of the choices you're going to make, the thoughts you're going to have on your next behavior. Ha! Quickly and naturally, Yogananda goes on to say, transforms herself. When you can kind of come within at the source of your behavior and be in this 5D awareness, consciousness, right? More and more that you're going to be at the source of your behavior so that from the source of you is the right motive, is the right intention, is the right choice. And so quickly then and naturally then, Yogananda says, will transform you quickly and quietly. Quickly and quietly is what he said. Quickly, no, he didn't say quietly. He said quickly and naturally. So it's organic. It's organic to be attuned to the right thing to do because it's the right thing to do. It will transform us, my dears, when we're able to get at that source of behavior and quickly and naturally transform ourselves, acquiring those acquiring. Maybe we're being offered a little kit just because the holy ones wanted to give us a little gift today, right? So they're offering a little gift of acquiring those virtues, the help with, and the amazing grace to acquire those virtues of body, speech, and mind that characterize the Sattvic devotee, that characterize those virtues of body, speech, and mind that characterize the Sattvic mental austerity tapas practice of the Sattvic devotee. How's that? So you're just going to get so mentally strong, my dears, is another way to put this. Just not only strong, but the strength is in the tap in or the hooking in or plugging in to the source socket, which is the source of your behaviors or your first thoughts that come up around the next choice of a behavior. We could put it that way. So he and she has worshipful regard for divinity. So we're kind of on this Sattvic, number 14 verse that talked about the veneration of the devas, the twice born, the gurus, all the good stuff, the wise, the pure, the straightforwardness, the continence, the nonviolence, and the penance or austerity of the body. We're still talking along those lines of the Sattvic. And she and he has worshipful regard for divinity in the various manifestation that she and he pays homage to spirit. There's so many manifestations. You can make up, Yogananda said, an Ishta, which is your personal relationship with a divine deva or divine awakened being or Shivan Mukta, a freed soul, whatever, that you have so many choices and you can come up and build your own Ishta. You can make your own Ishta. You can create that own beloved that you turn to and, uppy, whether it's Divine Mother or Christ consciousness, whatever, right? You pay homage, though. You pay homage in this Sattvic uh, mental austerities, tamas practice. You pay homage to spirit and its active created aspects by acts of worship. By acts of worship, you pay homage to spirit. That's a very Sattvic thing to pay homage to spirit, right? By acts of worship, and two words here that are very beautiful: meditative communion. Meditated communion. Remember the wafer? Some of us Catholic kids, right? Remember the wafer? I was not a good. I was an altar boy, and then sometimes we'd serve children's masses or even to the public masses and the adults masses, and we have the little thing to catch the wafer if the people come up and the priest used to put it on the tongue, right? And then we had these things that catch the wafer because it's sacred. The wafer represents the body of Christ, right? And so sometimes then they had a carpeted floor, and sometimes when you just rubbed your feet on the floor and you put that thing underneath the people's. So what we did to the kids, because they understood, we just touched that little plate thing that we had, and it has electricity from rubbing the feet on the floor, and you get just a little something that we Catholic boys would do, just to keep it interesting. Yeah. So it's meditative communion. This is the two words that are really, really special here. She and he venerates the God knowing. The God knowing is the twice born. Remember in the quote in the verse when we said the twice born? We didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant, twice born. But it now is explained by Yogananda is the God knowing, the twice born. Yeah. So we have the devas that we worship, the twice born that we worship. We venerate the God knowing, that twice born, the gurus and the wise by offerings of service and concentrated endeavor. So we offer our service. We offer our service to the guru. Yeah, that's part of, if you're going to love source, you're going to be in service to source. But it's not a service that, like you sign up for the military or whatever. It's a service that's done from love. No ulterior motives. No, not to get a pension after or whatever, but solely for love. So we venerate the God knowing, the twice born, the gurus, the wise by offerings of service and concentrated endeavor. And concentrated endeavor to learn from their wisdom. Sri Yukteswar said that there's a lot of teachers. There's a lot of teachers A lot of so-called gurus that are going to try to convince you of their wisdom or their path, their way. But Sri Yukteswar said, what the way of SRF, the way of the gurus of self-realization fellowship, they what they say is their path is the wisdom of the ages, right? Is wisdom that Sri Yukteswar brings. So the gurus and the wise, by offerings of service and concentrated endeavor to learn from their wisdom and to conduct oneself accordingly at the source of your behavior, at the choice of these amazing God helped awarenesses that we're having, right? To nip things right at the bud. Those little lotus flowers are pointed down for the most part in our chakras. And so at dawn and awakening of lotus buds, my soul flower softly unfolds to receive thy light, to receive thy light. Yeah. So we want to be upward petals, just like Uppy, mother. Oh, my mother divine, I want Uppy, Uppy. Oh, my mother divine, lift me up and hold me tight. Hold me tight. Lift me up and hold me tight. Hold me tight. I want Uppy, Uppy. Oh, my mother divine. Yeah. So, with concentrated endeavor to learn from their wisdom and to conduct oneself accordingly, our or his and her actions express purity. This is the commentary to the verse 14 that we read earlier. Our actions express purity, or saucha is the word in Sanskrit. Cleanness in body, habits, and surroundings, and absence of vileness in the use of the senses, honesty and sincerity, self-restraint. There's our self-control. We are meant to control ourselves. Self-restraint and not acting on temptations and desires. Another word for that is brahmacharya. And a careful consideration to cause no intentional harm to anyone. And that we may not, physically, do that, but mentally. Remember, you're in a watchtower now. You can't afford to have a negative thought about anything or anyone, anywhere, at any time, right? Because it's a lower guna, and we'll hear about those. They're not pretty, but sometimes they're good teachers. So these are the austerities of the body. These are the austerities of the body that we just said. So there is ahimsa, no harm to anyone. There is self-restraint, not acting on temptations and desires, a careful consideration to never have anyone as the ahimsa again. Oh yeah, my mute was on. I guess that happened when we had the short. Well, we're back now, Narayan. And I was just saying that the storm took out the Wi-Fi. So meditative communion is a great place to end, my dears, in that beautiful notion of meditative communion, the twice born, the God knowing. We learn what twice born means today. Yeah. So today is the solstice, the honoring this solstice eclipse that's coming up today on February 17th. Just marking something here. Yeah. So thank you, my dears. You probably have scooted off here, but I'll see you. Love all of you. Happy solar eclipse from the Salish Sea. Wow. Rookie, you get around. You really get around, my dear. Yeah. Amazing. Powerhouse. Lighten it up. All right. So I don't know if you're still on, Mary and Alex, but maybe I'll see you at the meditation. I think I'll leave my hotspot on because the other's not working. All right. Yeah. Perfect. Danny. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for staying on the line. Nothing can stop the soul when she gets motivated, when she gets blessed. She's already blessed, but when we are aware that she's already blessed, right? And if we can buy into that we are blessed, then all of a sudden we are blessed. You know what I mean? But the blessing is always there. So is spirit. So is the real you. It's always there. This is why let's go to 100% the true self, right? The true self. Not even go for the 51% I mentioned later, but 100% who we really truly are. Wow. Just relax into that. Just release and let go into that. And so it is, my dears. Love you. Thank you again for coming on. If anyone else has a little thought here, you can put it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get ready. I'll go check out the snow and then get ready for the meditation. Much love and light. Yeah, I love you too, Spirit Soul. Yeah, I love you too, Spirit Soul. We call Rookie Rainbow. She calls me Spirit Soul. Yeah, happened in a retreat in Flagstaff aeons ago in a galaxy that was ruled by the light and the love and the holy ones and the twice born and the gurus. Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'll close this off now, my dears. Thank you so much. Happy Gita. All aboard the Gita Express to the infinite bliss unmanifest. All aboard.